Thomas, gross actions against Caitlin Clark tonight. Let's just go right here. And I assure you, I will do a follow-up in the morning to this post. Injury update, Caitlin Clark back. Will not return. The Fever got crushed with this clip all throughout this post in a rebuttal. We'll get to that clip in just a second.
A worrying scene developed during the latest matchup when Caitlin Clark exited the contest, first heading to the bench before disappearing into the locker room entirely and never returning to the floor for the remainder of the game. Updates on her condition were slow to surface afterward, with several media figures contacted directly about her status, yielding no immediate response whatsoever. Hours passed with essentially no official word on what had actually happened, or how serious the situation might turn out to be. Attention then turned to a sequence of contact from ALYSSA Thomas that drew sharp criticism, described by various observers as some of the rougher and more questionable physical play seen against Clark all season long.
In a rebuttal. We'll get to that clip in just a second. All right, the Mercury won the game. Caitlin Clark was absolutely killing it when she had to leave the game. 19 points, 8 assists. I'm going to be honest with you. The game, side note at this point. The game is a side note. Let's just stop here. Stephanie White is loving this. A repeat of last year. Kelsey gets to chunk up 27 shots.
Footage of the exchange circulated rapidly across social platforms within hours, with a promise of further updates to follow the next morning regarding Clark's status, the severity of whatever happened, and whether she would be cleared to return for the following game. The contest ultimately went to Phoenix on the scoreboard. At the point of her departure, Clark had been performing well statistically, posting 19 points and 8 assists across her minutes on the floor. With her exit, focus shifted heavily away from the final score itself and toward the surrounding circumstances of how the night unfolded.
Kelsey gets to chunk up 27 shots. Therapy's incoming for all of us fans. I hope Caitlin Clark is not out for an extended period of time. Dave Portnoy posted this. This is a clip. This is where people believe she had the back injury. Right here. All right, let me turn the sound down. She hits the floor. That's where the defender came in.
Indiana's coaching approach drew added scrutiny in the aftermath, with some pointing toward a possible repeat of last season's shot distribution pattern, where Kelsey Mitchell ended up absorbing a notably heavy share of the team's overall attempts. A general hope was expressed across the fan base that Clark's absence wouldn't extend for any meaningful length of time. A widely shared clip, circulated by a well-known sports commentator, captured the specific moment that many believe ultimately caused the injury in question. In the sequence, a defender closed in tightly, while Clark attempted a three-point shot from beyond the arc, leading her to fall hard to the floor on the play.
Came in at her too close when she's trying to shoot this three-point shot. She's going to hit the ground, and when she rolls over, she grabs her back. All right? She reaches around and grabs her back. And right there. Did anybody see that? Watch Caitlin Clark. She's going to roll over, and she is going to reach back.
Upon rolling over afterward, she could clearly be seen reaching back and grabbing at her lower back area with one hand. A separate angle of the exact same moment didn't show that motion quite as clearly, but the original clip appeared to capture the defending player getting in far too close on the shot attempt, with Clark seeming to react as though she had also taken some contact near her face during the sequence. Many viewers connected this specific play directly to either a brand new injury or an aggravation of an already existing back issue from earlier in the season, though the exact nature and severity of it remained entirely unconfirmed at the time.
She's going to roll over, and she is going to reach behind and grab her back right there. Right there, she grabbed her back. So people believe this is where she got hurt. That's what it looks like anyway. This is a clearer picture, but you don't see her grabbing her back in this shot right here. But that's let me just...
Additional footage showed Clark walking off the court, eventually settling on the bench before heading further back toward the locker room area. Some speculation suggested that the head coach may have believed Clark hadn't hustled back on defense and was pulled from the game for that reason. That theory was dismissed as unlikely, with the more probable explanation being a back injury sustained on the earlier play.
Shot right here, but that's let me just... Right here, that's the shot. Defender got too close. Defender tried to act like she got hit in the face. And look, she got too close. She shouldn't have got so close. But that is the play where people believe that she hurt her back or re-injured the back. New back injury, we don't know. There's Caitlin Clark leaving the floor right here.
This was in the...
Right here. There's her on the bench, and there she goes walking off.
Separately, the physical contact from Thomas drew strong condemnation, with critics calling it among the most egregious and dirtiest sequences witnessed in recent memory. Calls followed for the league to hand down a lengthy suspension and accompanying fine. The specific contact in question involved an elbow or closed fist making contact with Clark's neck area, followed by a knee driven upward into her groin while she was driving toward the basket.
And there she goes walking off, and she's going to go back to the back. So now I know a couple of people speculated that they thought that Stephanie White believed Caitlin Clark may have not run out of play. Like, in other words, Stephanie White might have thought that Caitlin Clark didn't hustle on a play and that she actually got pulled from this game. I don't...
A second camera angle of the same sequence appeared to show a forearm and fist pressed against Clark's neck, which Thomas then appeared to use as leverage to push herself back up off the floor. Some viewers also questioned whether there was an attempt to step on or kick Clark during the scramble that followed. A prominent sports media figure publicly suggested that certain WNBA players harbor resentment toward Clark and that the contact was a deliberate cheap shot tied to her being white and heterosexual. A claim that has been circulating in commentary circles for roughly 3 years now.
I don't believe that. I think she hurt her back, all right? Absolutely gross work by ALYSSA Thomas on Caitlin Clark. This is some of the most egregious shit you will ever see in your life. This is one of the most dirtiest plays you will ever see in your life. ALYSSA Thomas needs to be suspended by the WNBA. She needs to be suspended.
Critics argued the league has a deeper systemic issue with player conduct that needs addressing. Frustration was also directed at the head coach for not reacting more forcefully on the sideline following the contact, with critics suggesting she should have been ejected or at minimum hit with a technical foul given her close relationships with both Thomas and Dewana Bonner. Neither penalty was assessed.
In this clip that I'm about to show you, this is the footage right before Caitlin Clark went out of the game. Now, I'm about to blow this all the way up for y'all right now. I'm about to remove myself from this screen. Well, not all the way. Hold on. No. Hold on. So, guys, watch this footage. Watch this real quick. I need y'all.
Commentary continued to frame the league's ongoing narrative as centered more on courtroom drama than the actual basketball being played, with prior warnings about Thomas and Bonner allegedly targeting Clark seemingly coming to fruition. The overall reaction described the sequence as deeply troubling, with some suggesting Clark would be better served playing elsewhere if the pattern continues, warning that staying could shorten her career significantly. Criticism extended to the organization itself for allegedly failing to adequately protect its star player across multiple seasons, with some arguing that deference to a league perceived as hostile toward her ultimately left her exposed to this kind of treatment.
I need y'all to watch this. Hold on. I'm about to play it, guys. I'm about to play it right now. Watch this. So this is Caitlin Clark to the right here, guys. So this is Caitlin Clark right before she goes to the locker room. For those of you guys who is
Public sentiment online reflected significant anger, directed both at the opposing player and at organizational inaction. Pointed questions emerged about what accountability measures would follow, including whether direct conversations with League Commissioner Kathy Engelbert were being considered, and what concrete steps might be taken to prevent similar incidents going forward, given concerns that the league's biggest draw was being repeatedly subjected to rough treatment. Additional commentary tied the incident once more to perceptions surrounding Clark's identity, with claims that resentment from some players stems from jealousy over the attention and popularity she has brought to the league since her arrival.
Clark right before she goes to the locker room. For those of you guys who is just now joining us, I don't care what the media is saying. I don't care what none of that. This the footage. Watch this. Watch this right here. So y'all see Caitlin. Caitlin looked pissed. Watch her face. Watch her. Grabbing on her pants. Do it look like her back hurt? Just chat. Do it look like Caitlin back hurt right now? Do it look like Caitlin?
A follow-up post acknowledged that the injury angle, knee contact, and neck contact would likely generate continued coverage over the following days as more information became available. Footage circulating online claims to show the moments leading up to Caitlin Clark leaving a recent game early. The clip in question shows Clark on the court shortly before she heads toward the locker room.
Look like Caitlin back hurt right now? Do it look like Caitlin back hurt? Just chat real quick. Do it look like her back hurt? Or do she watch it? I'm done talking.
On and off the court, including the first WNBA commissioner, Val Ackerman. He fits today for basketball.com.
Viewers reviewing the footage have pointed to her facial expression and body language, including how she appeared to be holding her lower back, as possible signs of discomfort. Some watching the clip speculated about whether her posture suggested a back issue, though opinions on this were mixed and largely based on visual interpretation rather than confirmed information. In the footage, Clark is seen walking directly toward the locker room rather than returning to the bench area, which several viewers noted as unusual given the point in the game.
Walk straight to the locker room. Oh, there they are. Look, walk straight to the locker room. She gone. I told you. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm finna play it over, and I'm not finna talk.
The clip was replayed multiple times for viewers to examine the sequence more closely. A second portion of the same footage shows team president Amber Cox during what appears to be the same stretch of the game, described as the final time Clark was seen on camera before exiting for good. Based on the timing, this moment is believed to have occurred late in the third quarter or possibly around the start of the fourth.
Look, I'm finna play it over, and I'm not finna say nothing. Watch the video. I'm finna play it over right now. Watch the video.
In this segment, attention was drawn to Clark's interaction with teammates as the team broke from a huddle. Some viewers observed that she did not appear to exchange the usual hand touch or contact gesture with teammates during the break, which led to further speculation in the comments about whether she was already dealing with discomfort at that point. Others pushed back, noting that if the issue had started in the third quarter, a return to the bench would typically be expected, and questioning why that didn't happen if the injury occurred earlier than believed.
Inspiring Women Night presented by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield this Saturday, June 27th.
The footage then shifts to show Amber Cox returning from the direction of the locker room and engaging in conversation with another team staff member, identified as Kelly Krauskopf, during live game action. Play-by-play audio in the background references game details, including substitutions and shot attempts from both teams. The person recording noted they had been posting updates about the situation on social media in real time while filming.
Hey, look, block him. Block him. Who is that? Mitchell? Michelle Bly, see you. You're going straight to Blockbuster. Now, I haven't even got to the Amber Cox part. So the Amber Cox part is the next part of this video. So the next part of this video that you guys is about to see, because this is a whole video, is the Amber Cox.
During this stretch, Cox is shown speaking briefly with an unidentified woman nearby, stepping away momentarily, and then returning to continue the conversation. The individual could not be clearly identified in the footage. The video indicates that further discussion, including comments from head coach Stephanie White during a post-game interview, would follow in a later segment.